Hello Skillr Boxers. Today we are breaking down a style built on breaking down opponents. One of the greatest pressure boxers of all time, with strategic aggression and subtle veteran tactics. The incarnation of the Mexican boxing style, Julio Cesar Chavez. A legend in Mexico and in the boxing world, Chavez is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter.
Para usted, ¿qué significa Julio Cesar Chavez?
Ajá.
Le dije, el peleador más chingón que México ha dado al mundo del boxeo. El peleador más chingón que ha dado México es ese güero cabrón.
This high praise is due to his relentless pressure style, which boxing fans love so much. But behind the heart and determination, there's a strategic approach and polished skills that allow him to walk through his opponents with ease. If you want to know all about the skills Chavez used in his pressure style, this breakdown is for you. But before we start the breakdown, we wanted to share a message from our sponsor, Pro Boxing, the premier home training platform. Update to the latest app version to master over 100 new high percentage combinations from 6 essential categories: short range, long range, alternating combos, and more. Skillr Boxers who don't have the app, you can save 20% using the link below. Let's start with the boxing stance. Since he liked to pressure his opponents, most of the time, Chavez fought front foot heavy. When it came to his position, he used a squared stance, with his feet slightly apart. This squared stance allowed Chavez to cut the ring much easier, as it enabled smoother lateral movement, but more on that later. The squared stance also brings the lead hand closer to the opponent, shortening the path to land punches. This is why Chavez would often lead with a cross. It's easier to connect, and it also allows for transitions into liver shots, as we will see later on. He stays slightly forward, keeping his hands at chin level. He maintains a solid and active high guard, constantly using parries and blocks while defending. Now, let's look at his first and most notorious skill: forward pressure. The main reason Chavez was able to apply pressure and trap his opponents so effectively was his ability to cut off the ring. Cutting off the ring is a strategic technique where you slowly take away your opponent's exit paths while moving forward, eventually trapping them with no escape.
Porque él podrá correr lo que él quiera y agacharse y todo, pero no va a poder esconderse.
He can run all that he wants, he can squat,
No va a poder salirse del ring.
but he can't hide.
To do this, the key is not to follow, but to move where the opponent is going, anticipating their movement, while always edging forward. The main idea is to move in a cone-shaped path. You don't move completely straight, as that allows the opponent to sidestep easily. You also don't move just laterally, as that would let the opponent circle around the ring. Instead, you combine forward and lateral movement, cutting off the ring little by little.
Fighters have their strengths and their weaknesses, although Chavez, I don't think, has a weakness. Camacho's got to stand his ground and he's got to make a statement of some.
Right now, he's got problems with Chavez chasing him pillar to post.
Yeah, he is holding on. He's holding on inside very, very tight. I'll tell you what, Freddie, I will get under the ring.
I do not think the fans would take that lightly.
Chavez was excellent at this, constantly trapping even highly elusive boxers by slowly blocking their exits. Once he had an opponent trapped against the ropes, he would unleash combinations. But one of the more underrated skills of Chavez was his ability to create angles with the opponent against the ropes. He would often land a punch, then quickly pivot to his right, taking an angle to catch the opponent out of position.
This fight, he is in a survival mode.
Yeah, what we're looking at is the beginning of the end.
And the few times Chavez was the one against the ropes, he would quickly turn it around. The way he did this was by getting close to the opponent, placing his head forward and simply pivoting around, switching positions.
Kevin, are you trying to tell?
Maybe too patient.
He had him hurt. He didn't open. Another good left hook.
Avoid that right hand lead.
He should bend. At the point, he should bend down. He should bend his knees.
As you pointed out before the fight.
Other times, if he felt comfortable, he would simply fight off the ropes, using them to lean back and forth while combining his elite head movement.
Less than 30 seconds of round two. Chavez able to bob and weave at it. But that's nothing new for the fourth.
Inside fighting. Once Chavez cuts the ring, he starts working on the inside. As we'll see later, his combinations and bodywork are elite. But what often gives him the edge on the inside is his subtle veteran tactics. These are often considered dirty tactics and sometimes get called out, one of them being head control. Chavez would often reach on the inside to control the opponent's head and then punch. He would grab behind the head, which is technically illegal, to land an uppercut. Or control one side of the head to punch from the other.
Taken the worst of it so far, but by the same time.
By controlling the opponent's posture, it becomes harder for them to fire back clean shots. And while having head control, the opponent also struggles to move their head away from the incoming punch. Chavez would control with one hand and punch with the other.
That's on instinct. Final minute of the ninth round.
Acting like a champion, and you got to be proud of it.
Another veteran tactic he used was framing. He would often frame with his forearm to pin the opponent's guard. Sometimes he would use it to push the opponent off before throwing a punch. He used the frame to destabilize his opponent before attacking. Often he would frame with the palm facing inward, using it to push and redirect the opponent, controlling them into position for punches. Head movement. As we saw in his boxing stance, Chavez fights front foot heavy with his head slightly forward. While this squared stance creates a larger target, Chavez had outstanding waist movement, making him one of the most elusive pressure fighters.
Under 20 seconds. Combination, and Chavez again invites him in. And look at this head movement by Chavez. Marvelous mark. Look at this head movement by one playoff. Are you telling me it's a long neck theory? Right hand there by Chavez. Not hard, but he got it.
He constantly bobbed and weaved while moving forward. This motion also allowed him to transition into punches like his lead cross. He also used his head movement to counter opponents' jabs effectively. He would often counter with an overhand, either slipping to the inside and going over the lead hand,
Challenger Mayweather. And what set that up? Mayweather slipped to his...
or slipping to the outside and then quickly getting back in range with his right hand.
Down and up. Try to get that right hand in. One thing. Down and up. Challenger Mayweather. And what set that up? Mayweather slipped to his right beautifully. He just was right.
Body movement. Julio Cesar Chavez was one of the best at punishing the body. He had a clear philosophy: hit the body and the head will fall. His most effective body shot was the liver shot. Chavez would consistently punish the right side of the opponent with devastating hooks.
It's not that easy.
Only 16 knockouts
to keep Chavez off. So whenever
the chance now.
To set it up, he would often make a sudden move to his lead side, shifting his weight to the front foot, sometimes opening up his arms to make it a quicker motion. From that loaded side, he would unleash a devastating hook to the liver.
Well, he's reevaluating his opinion.
Other times, he would use his cross as a lead punch, which already loaded the liver shot.
To get anything going.
He would repeat this combination over and over, as the cross would also force the opponent to raise their guard.
Camacho, though.
It's Chavez. Oh.
In the belly there by Chavez. He goes
so many angles and so many punches. You can't.
The frontal
issues, and that's what's happening here.
Reputation proceeding.
Yeah, certainly. The straight right hand that Chavez is throwing is going to...
The lead cross was another one of his signature punches. Extremely effective and hard to read, since he threw it directly from his high guard with no telegraphing.
This is broken. He can dominate. That is it. Well, he gets him on a rope, he lets him get on the line, that's going to happen. There you go. Right hand. Oh, he hurt him.
Chavez would constantly play that high and low game to set up punches in different ways.
And he played a lot, and that
combining looping and straight shots in creative combinations.
Oh, brother, a combination. And down goes Hogan.
Worrying him so much that he has now gotten so defensive.
But now that we've seen his greatest skills, let's look at his flaws. Flaws. While we've seen that his squared stance is key to how he cuts off the ring, in boxing, everything comes with a trade-off. This squared stance also makes him a bigger target, making it easier for opponents to land. Additionally, while it provides better balance for side-to-side movement, it limits his ability to move backward or pull away from punches, making it harder to get out of range when moving forward. Lastly, while his lead cross is one of his best weapons, it often left him overreaching, falling forward with his back foot ahead, staying in range. This is fundamentally flawed, as it breaks posture and throws off balance, which sharp opponents can exploit. But now, we'd like to know your opinion in the comments. Who are the best pressure boxers of all time? Let us know your top 5. And, if you found the video interesting, you can find more on our channel. And to your left, we've chosen a video we think you'll enjoy.